Thanks for joining me again, ladies and gentlemen. And it's me, your movie guru, back with another review. This time I'm going to be reviewing Arkansas. It just debuted on Amazon Prime, and if you don't know anything about it, it's a little hard to describe, but you've got a couple of low-level drug dealers, played by Clark Duke and Liam Hemsworth, and they end up running afoul of their boss due to this kind of crazy, wacky turn of events. It also has a lot of other stars: John Malkovich, Vince Vaughn, Vivica Fox, to name a few. Uh, so it's a pretty star-studded cast. It's only got a 44% score on Rotten Tomatoes right now from the critics. Doesn't have an audience score yet. But I tell you, I gave it a 6.5 out of 10. Uh, the reason I gave it the score I did was it starts off really slow. In fact, it starts off to the point where I'd say about 30 minutes in, I thought that this was a film that I wasn't going to enjoy. I was kind of like, okay, I don't know much about these characters. They're not telling me as much as I'd like to know. And the way things are progressing, I'm just not that interested. That said, though, around 45 minutes in, it does start to kick off a sequence of events, and you do get much more interested in seeing, if not in the characters themselves, but in what's going to happen next. And so from that point on, really is what kind of made the movie for me. Because prior to that, I'd say I would have given it like a 5 out of 10 if it would have kept on that path. But after about 45 minutes or so, I'd say that was probably a 7.5 out of 10. That was actually pretty good. Uh, the parts that I say are pretty good about it is it's not, this big giant action flick or, this big compelling drama, but it seems to use characters not so much that you can relate to, but that are realistic. Uh, Liam Hemsworth, he doesn't play this super tough guy or this super unbeatable guy. He's not this John Wick type of character. He's not this Jason Bourne type of character. Where he's super drug dealer, he can shoot anybody and take out anybody in a fist fight. It's not like that. And then the bad guy, the overarching powerful villain, he doesn't, have these superpowers that a lot of these crime films seem to give them, to where they can order anybody dead and they, just are going to show up dead, or they can seemingly they've bought off the cops and they've bought off city officials and judges. None of that. It's not all this stuff that can't, that you have trouble seeing happening. So the overarching bad guy, he's really grounded in reality, and then so are Liam Hemsworth and Clark Duke, as these kind of, I don't want to say like bumbling villains, but kind of just very low in the drug dealing game, and they're trying to get things figured out. So that for me was unique, and I like to see that. And then I also like to see the fact that it was told in kind of a different way, and that, like I said, it's not these Superman type figures, but they're really relatable. It's something that you could see them trying to figure out, and then especially drug dealing in the South. That's also not something that you see a lot of. Usually a drug film, laden film, is either done in Latin America, Mexico, or it's done in inner cities, like Detroit, Chicago, New York, something like that. And so to see it kind of take place in the South, that was something that brought a little added element to it as well. So that's why I give it a 6.5 out of 10. I think that if you give it time, I do think that you will enjoy the film. Like I said, it's not something that I think you're going to be thinking about 10 years later and saying, okay, that was a great film, or I remember a lot about it. But it's definitely, I think it will keep you entertained. If, like I said, you just give it a little bit of time to set up and then kind of set the pieces in place and then continue to watch it, I think you'll enjoy it. Also, I think that Liam Hemsworth's character especially was something that, as it went on, it definitely got a little bit more interesting, because you get to see he starts off as what you think is this just going to be your standard carbon cookie cutter, strong but silent type, tough guy. But he definitely starts to show a little depth, and to me that really enhanced the experience for me. So that's what I've got for that one. 6.5 out of 10. Arkansas. You can see it on Amazon Prime. I think it's well worth a watch. If you've already got Amazon, it's not something that you go to the theaters and see. Although I wish I could go to the theaters, but it's not something that you got to pay to stream or anything like that. If you got Amazon Prime, you can watch it today. So given that, I think it's definitely well worth your time. Thanks for watching. That's all I got for this one. Leave me a comment, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you like what you see, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching, guys.